Go Hones! Welcome back. New video. It's Friday. It snowed. It snowed even more, guys. Even more snow. Hooray. So, my name's Timmy. You're watching Timmy's Cards. I want to talk to you all about something today that I don't think gets talked about enough. And it's the direct correlation between Pokemon reprints, restocks, whatever the hell you want to call it, supply coming to the market, and the correlation to stock offerings on the stock market, equity offerings. Okay. Very quick conversation. Hopefully it provides a little bit of value and information to you folks who may not be aware of it. I know some of my viewers are already keenly aware of this stuff. Click off the video, comment, go fuck yourself, Drewski Timmy. No one cares about your dumbass information. Okay, for those of you who don't know, when a stock goes public, when it IPOs with a certain amount of shares. Now, some of the shares are already purchased by hedge funds. Some of them are allocated to, the CEO and the board and all of the C-suite folks, the executives. And then there is a public float, which is shares outstanding when you look on a website like FinViz. And that's what the public is able to go and buy. And essentially, what will happen is they will IPO at a certain price. That's what the shares will be sold for. That's what the shares that were already purchased at an agreed upon price were sold for. And then there will be a public offering price as well. So it could be arbitrary. It could be $5, it could be $20, it could be $30, whatever it is. And then the total amount of shares that are floated, not just the public float, but the total shares multiplied by the IPO price, the stock price, the underlying price. If you multiply those together, you get the overall company's market cap. That's how you calculate market cap. I know Nostalgianomics had a recent video where he talked about overall float and how to calculate what a certain card might be, what its market cap might be worth based on how many of that card is in existence and how much the market price is. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially how you come up with the certain value. But because it's hard to calculate how many of a certain card there actually is unless you're looking at something like a PSA specific card, it can be hard to find an actual market cap for, most items on the open public market for Pokemon, right? Now, when it comes to stock offerings and what that means, a company may complete an offering, and what that means is they are going to create out of a Fugazi, a magic nothing burger of nothing, they're just going to create more shares that the public can buy. Again, this may be another arbitrary amount. It could be 100,000 shares. It could be 20,000 shares. It could be 500,000, a million, that's up to the company. And essentially what this is intended to do is to raise money for the company. A lot of biotechs do this because they have high operating expenses while they're completing research and development, R&D, before they actually, hit revenue. These pre-revenue biotechs will often do this to raise more capital. And essentially what it does is it makes money for the company so they can work with more capital, operating expenses, but at the same time it dilutes the shareholder. The shareholders' existing shares are worth less when they do this. And the reason being is when you have more shares in existence, when that outstanding float goes up, the value, the underlying, goes down because it's that simple metric of market cap equals outstanding shares times stock price. So when you have more shares and the price goes down because of it, you are going to end up seeing, that price will end up dropping. And this happens very frequently in the stock market world. You see it oftentimes because people want to sell. They don't like being diluted. And so when a stock offering is announced, very, very frequently, stock price will drop, and it will typically drop pretty significantly. It depends how big the offering is as well. Okay, all of that summarized into a sweet little basket to correlate directly to Pokemon restocks and reprints and what that means for the price of things. Okay, so we can see this directly with what happens with the vending machine effect. The vending machine effect is simply when items get put into vending machines, they're going to be more readily available because those are constantly churning product every 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the algorithm of the machine, and those will be hitting the public. It's not like a once a week drop at a Walmart, Meijer, Target where you have to wait. These are constantly dropping and constantly happening. And so when you have, hundreds, thousands of machines across the country that are doing this every 45 minutes to an hour, you are essentially having a constant drip or a quote unquote offering of that price, of that stock hitting the market. And so just like a stock dropping in price, that specific item that's put into a vending machine will also drop in price. We saw this specifically, and you can go back and look at eBay sales or TCG market sales. You saw this direct correlation happen with Surging Sparks booster boxes. They put the boxes into the machine. They went from 250 to 200 to 190 to 180, and they are no longer in vending machines. And guess what? They're back up to 235, 245, 250, kind of in that standard deviation range of pricing. And that's just what happens. That offering was closed. That happens with stocks. They will open the offering, and then at a certain date, they will close the offering. That is kind of what happens with the vending machines. They open the offering, they put them into the machine, and then at some point, they take them out of the machine, and quote unquote, the offering is closed. So pay close attention to what happens when reprints are announced. Those are buying opportunities in many, many instances. If we get a Destined Rivals booster box reprint, guys, that's going to be a huge buying opportunity because it will be a limited amount that gets reprinted. The price will inevitably drop. People will buy it. It will drop to a floor. And then eventually when they say, okay, reprint's done, we're moving on to this set, or we're going to this, we can't do this anymore, printing capacity's been met, that price will jump right back up. This is arbitrage opportunities. This is the offering arbitrage that you can, take advantage of and get some edge. And I mean, if you're looking at Surging Sparks booster boxes, if you were buying them at $200 and you bought a nice chunk and they're back at $250, guys, that's a 25% bump in no time. That is really hard to capture on the stock market, but it's very frequent on the Pokemon market. So guys, if you are someone who is curious about taking advantage, getting good pricing, finding plays on the open market, these are areas where you can take full advantage, and you should have your eyes on it, be keen on it, and be looking for those opportunities because they are still around and they happen frequently. And all you have to do is just pay attention, and you can take advantage of those too. That's all I got. Drewski's cards. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you want to see anything else content-wise, market talk on the channel, I'm happy to discuss it. I've been trading on the stock market for 8 years. Started actively trading in 2017. And I have a decent chunk of experience in my 8 years of trading. So guys, make sure to subscribe, go back, look for the giveaway video, comment on it, get yourself entered into a chance to win a free prismatic booster bundle. I want to give another one away, so please do yourself a favor and get entered to win. That's all I got. Love you guys. Bye.